the last topic I really quickly want to discuss is the very important topic that really isn't getting a lot of media attention. And that is the fact that the court has ruled that the NSA surveillance that was exposed by Snowden is unlawful. And that's extremely important because obviously whistleblowers and journalists need to be protected for letting the public know of what the government and these intelligence agencies are doing on people. And this came to light obviously in 2013. And now the U.S. Court of Appeals ruled that the intelligence leaders who publicly lied and they defended the program. And Snowden has said he feels vindicated. He is currently living in exile in Moscow, but he expressed his wish to return to the U.S., where he's still facing these espionage charges over his decision to go public. He said, "I never imagined that I would live to see our courts condemn the NSA's activities as unlawful and in the same ruling credit me for exposing them. And yet that day has arrived." So
yeah, no, this is huge.
Yeah.
And that happened in the appeals court too.
Yep.
Which is a big deal. Let me say they didn't have to take it to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That is interesting. The appeals court did it. So
and of course, yeah. And this is a victory for our privacy, for our civil liberties.
So what does that mean? Are they going to like end it? Are they going to end the NSA? Like what happens, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're going to end it. I just think that they're going to because if they did, Snowden would be pardoned immediately and he should be allowed to return home, right? Like, effectively, that's what should happen right now. That's what should happen next. He should be allowed to return home. Because if you're saying that it was unconstitutional what they were doing, then what he did in telling people about it shouldn't be wrong, right? Like, exactly. It was the right thing to do. It was the right call to make. And so, again, this is the state, these intelligence agencies, the military industrial complex, the CIA. This is what they do. They gaslight, they vilify, and this is a victory. I'm glad that the federal appeals court ruled in this way,
so,
and it's
I just can't wait to see what comes about it. Are they they got to take out the NSA then, but the government will make another.
Right, they'll just replace it with something else under a new name, because we have to tackle. This is a good victory, but we also have to tackle exactly like the Julian Assange too.
So the ACL put up a tweet.
The ACL is the
same thing.
Yeah, the ACLU. And yeah, this is good. This is a victory.
That's good.
We needed a victory because it's been really awful for a long time. But I just wanted to highlight also what Tulsi Gabbard said, because she's one of the only people talking about this. She said this court ruling reaffirms every American's right to privacy. Flagrant government overreach through this NSA program and others show that we cannot stand idly by as our freedoms are undermined. We must stand vigilant and fight for those freedoms. And she issued a whole press release on it. And
wow, that's awesome.
And then she also said, we must stand vigilant and fight for those freedoms. We must hold those responsible accountable for their abuse of power and protect brave whistleblowers who expose them. We should never be presented with the false choice of freedom of security. We deserve better than from our leaders, that they should uphold our freedom and work to secure our nation. Actually work to secure our nation, because they always say they're securing our nation and protecting our national security by encroaching on our civil rights, by encroaching on our freedom of speech, by violating our privacy. So that is how you actually protect Americans, by highlighting their rights to their freedom of speech and their right to know things. She said the surveillance program in question began under President George W. Bush and continued under President Obama. In its ruling, the Ninth Circuit Court noted that the program's renewal by the FISA court beginning in 2006 and after that were legally flawed. As part of the unanimous ruling by a panel of 3 judges, including appointees by President W. Bush and President Obama, the appeals court debunked the Department of Justice argument that the government had a right to the data collected, arguing that it was voluntarily provided by the telecommunications provider by customers. Today's ruling also agrees with another unanimous 2015 ruling by the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which ruled that the NSA program was not consistent with Sector 215 of the Patriot Act, the statute used to authorize the program. And she had raised this issue decrying the program on the White House floor in 2013.
On the House floor.
Yeah, so 7 years ago, she said this on the House floor. And Edward Snowden leaked details about it to the press, and who subsequently led to Russia to escape persecution. This was terminated when Congress passed the U.S. Freedom Act. However, the bill created a new mechanism where phone providers retain their data instead of turning it over to the government. So, again, as we all know, Tulsi Gabbard has advocated to reform the Patriot Act, to extend and expand our privacy and civil liberties oversight board. And yeah, she's really actually one of the few politicians that has actually talked about Assange, talked about whistleblowers in general, talked about privacy, civil liberties. This is why she would have been great to have that, to bring in a lot of people who like that on the right or on the libertarian side. And really, everybody under this, everybody should care. Again, as we said on the show the other day with Action for Assange, this isn't about a bipartisan issue. We should all be for protecting our rights, our privacy, and expanding our civil liberties, and getting rid of the Patriot Act, getting rid of these things that really are spying on us to use this against us and to manipulate a narrative in our government. So yeah, really good things. I'm so glad Tulsi spoke about it.